Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to this quick clip on a personal finance expert regarding Palantir Technologies today and what its current price is.
And I hope it goes further down and down so I can accumulate more. Palantir is a perfect one. I started at 7, went all the way up, and I'm like, don't go up, don't go up. And now I have to wait till she comes back down again.
What we're seeing right now in terms of the general stock market is a beating. We see Palantir that falls basically about 5 to 6% on the day. To be exact, to be 6.31%. And we're seeing the S&P 500 and things like that taking a fall. We'll take a look at that in a second. This is after the Fed released a hawkish outlook about 2024, saying that they only plan to reduce interest rates like twice. And what we're seeing right now is many people sitting on the sidelines for Palantir stock, possibly waiting for the price to come down because yes, they believe in the company in terms of a long-term growth metric, but think the prices may be a little bit too high right now. We're going to be analyzing this, talking about what Palantir has done today, and especially why this is important is because earnings will be coming out in the near future. Also, talking about some indicators that show a short-term bullish outlook, possibly for a stronger correction, and where the analysts and these personal finance experts are predicting possibly prices to accumulate more Palantir and get a better bang for your buck. So if you're new to the channel or a returning viewer, hit that like button and subscribe for daily videos. If you want to get up to 12 free stocks, check out the link down below on Webull, and you can deposit any amount, even just $5, and get up to 12 free stocks. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Take everything I say with a grain of salt and do your own research. Now, pop it up on the screen today what we do have in terms of Palantir stock. Like I said, we do have a decent falling right here at 6.631%. Quickly looking at some of the global markets right here, you can see the S&P is down 1.43. You got the NASDAQ down nearly 2.5%, Dow Jones even in the -2. So all of the big indicators are down and markets have fallen today. And this is really in response, like I said, to what we have seen is that there is a higher for longer in terms of interest rates, looking at the scenario that the Fed has given a hawkish outlook, which plans to reduce only these interest rates twice in 2024. Now, remember what we have been talking about in these daily videos about Palantir stock is November 2nd, pre-market, are where all the eyeballs are looking at. In terms of Palantir stock, these earnings are looking bullish. We're seeing possibly a fourth quarter of GAAP profitability, which is great because that can bring inclusion into the S&P 500. And we've seen 5 bullish earnings per share revisions in the last 90 days. So with this being said, can Palantir still outpace this, and can there be enough buying confidence to test the near-term resistance points that we've seen with Palantir and test the previous resistance points that were tested at the last quarter earnings in Q2. Now, quickly taking a look at that and specifically looking at that, we do have resistance here at about the 18s where we have experienced, and we have a little bit of a correction. Palantir repeated that correction right here, and what we have had yesterday was that bullish hammer indicator that was being established, and you can see that right here. If we zoom in on the 5-minute charts and get really into Palantir, this bullish indicator was being set up with this hammer that was being formed. With that being said, you saw Palantir test a little bit of a resistance here at about 17s and then fall back down to these 15s, possibly going to be testing the support on where the bottom of this bullish hammer was being formed. And with that being said, this could be the last draw point for Palantir to hold support and possibly outpace the bearish selling and the hawkish that we do have from the Fed to possibly bring more higher price targets and facing the near-term resistance points. Talking about Palantir though, what is great is that it is looking interested as it recently has overtook the 20-day moving average, which on top of the hammer that has recently been formed right here, the bullish hammer, and also being overtaking that 20-day moving average, these are both short-term bullish trends. And we're talking about that in the prediction that even I have made on Palantir is that we might see before earnings a bullish and a short-term increase on Palantir, and then after, if earnings is either in line or if they miss at all, we could possibly see a decent correction with Palantir. Or even if they beat it just slightly, we could see this valuation start to figure itself out, possibly test these support levels back in the 13s, as you can see here where there's strong support right about the mid-13s right there. But going back to that 20-day moving average, and why this is a popular trading tool is because it gives that history of 20 days of trading, and this is really beneficial for short-term traders. And the fact that Palantir is overtaking this and is actually sitting above this does bring a short-term bullish trend. And like I said, what we've seen with PLTR over the past month has gained 19.2%, so we have to take that into consideration too, possibly here with a small correction. And one great is that it has received a Zacks ranking of buy, and this is really important because the Zacks ranking has always been sitting at a hold, and it recently increased its earnings per estimates, like up 6.91%, and changed that rating to a buy, another strong indication that this stock could move even higher. And what Palantir has really been rated as is possibly an AI leader that could have massive wins in the long term. And what we talked about Palantir Technologies, not just focusing on AI, like on their Foundry, the Gotham, Apollo, and their AIP software program that they recently released like 6 months ago. Palantir is also working on mixed reality. And we're not talking about different types of headsets, but we're talking about different types of VR or augmented reality software that can be incorporated within their software, or different types of softwares that are utilized in different types of virtual realities and developed by Microsoft and Apple and things like that. So they're not creating their own VR headsets, but developing software that can be incorporated into various different products. And this demo of mixed reality that they have seen is aimed at increasing situational awareness, which is great. And this could be especially important for their governmental contracts that they do have in terms of how military operators can use VR headsets and data points to build three-dimensional worlds for our particular operation. We do know that Palantir does have heavy involvement with the government in terms of these government contracts. It's the majority of their revenue makers at like 57% for terms of Palantir revenue does come from governmental contracts. We really recently saw that $250 million Department of Defense contract. So the fact that you have them working in addition to just AI products does keep me bullish in terms of the long term. However, short term here, I could see Palantir possibly testing, like I said, this $18 resistance, possibly this 20 up here, and then experiencing more of a correction, sitting on the sidelines on like what a lot of these analysts and experts are saying. It's only going to be a matter of time on what happens to Palantir, and especially what's going to be happening, not just in terms of the stock itself, but also what's happening on in the global markets. Because I think what happened today is that with the Fed, we saw a big correction in the global markets, and Palantir was affected by that. Holding that $15 level support, we'll see what happens. However, I think this is the last support straw before we're going to see smaller price or more, prices on the decline, possibly down to those 13s. Otherwise, we could see a reversal here. I'll catch you guys later, and peace out. Thank you guys so much for watching, supporting a smaller content creator. I've loved making these videos for you guys. I love the feedback. So if you want to talk, leave it down in the discussions. Let's start a discussion, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.